Hi, everyone. My name's Leslie Kirby, and I'm the chair of the Jewish Community Relations Committee of the Jewish Federation and Jewish Foundation of Nashville and Middle Tennessee. We're co-hosting this weekly Lunch and Learn series with the Nashville Jewish Social Justice Roundtable. And today our guest is Kathy Leslie from Suggah Hi Restaurant and Bakery. She's partnering with us and with World Central Kitchen to provide 1,000 meals for families in need. And we're doing this in conjunction with our upcoming Social Justice Seder, which will be taking place next week. And we're using the funds that we would have spent having an in-person event at the JCC to instead provide these meals for families. So welcome, Kathy. Thank you for joining us today and for partnering with us on this incredible opportunity to help others in our community. Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and how Suggah Hi came to be?
Well, certainly. Thank you for the opportunity. First of all, I am part two of a duet. My sister is the other owner of Suggah Hi Bakery and Cafe. She's the baker and I'm the eater. And so, but she's recovering from open heart surgery today, and so she won't be able to join us today. So when we started Suggah Hi Bakery and Cafe, my mother, I like to give this story. My mother was a full-time nurse. She would come home every day after working full-time and fix a full course meal with dessert. And then on Sundays, we would gather around the table with food, we eat and love on each other and just laugh. And that's my sister and I, we thought, well, you know what? Love is really, food is really next to God. And it's lovely and people feel warm by that. And so we just decided that we would open the cafe with that in mind. We just like to love on people through food. And when we got this partnership with World Central Kitchen, that was just a blessing. Because we believe this, we believe it's not a shame to be hungry, but it's a shame not to be fed. And so when we have the opportunity to do that, we believe that we must do the best that we can do. We believe that we must give a meal that looks beautiful and tastes just as well as it looks. So that's our mission. And again, we thank you for the opportunity.
Wonderful. So our project started yesterday. We were at Churchwell Elementary School. Deborah and I were there along with another volunteer from the community. And we gave out 300 meals to families in need that are part of the Churchwell School. Can you tell us what was on the menu? The meals looked beautiful and delicious.
So we had rotisserie chicken, green beans, and sweet potatoes. And so we try to make it a well-balanced meal, healthy, plentiful, bountiful. And so that's what we had yesterday.
Wonderful. The families seemed very excited to receive them. They were wonderful. And we met Mr. Churchwell Jr. The school was named after his father. What made you partner with World Central Kitchen? How did that come to happen?
Well, I asked Whitney that all the time. How did they find us? So one of the things that we do every year, we do a community meal where we open the doors to everybody, no matter what your station in life. We have lawyers, doctors, anybody. We don't call anybody. Everybody sits down. So we do that. Whitney came to us and she said, you know what, I want to partner with you guys. And let me back up. So last year we served about 500 people. And so she came to us and she said, we want to partner with you guys. We want to feed the hungry, and would you guys be interested? And we said, of course we would. Because that's what we pray for. We love doing things like that. And so that's how it came about. She found us and we were willing and ready.
Wonderful. So this wasn't your first time working with World Central Kitchen. You've partnered with them back in the fall as well?
Oh, yes, we partnered with them back in the fall. I think it started in August, and we did about 1,600 meals a month. So hopefully it'll be more this year. We want to make a dent in the hungry. We really do.
So for those of you who aren't aware, World Central Kitchen partners with restaurants. So a lot of places, well, not enough, but there are a number of places that provide food for people who are food insecure. But most of the time it's dry goods, non-perishables, things that they still have to take home and make a meal with. So what's different about World Central Kitchen is it's also taking the burden of preparing the food away. So they are given a hot meal that's already cooked. And so there's no prep, there's there's no cooking, there's no cleanup, just provided with a hot meal. So that's where World Central Kitchen's project is a little bit different than some of the other food insecurity projects in Nashville. What are your goals kind of going forward? So how do you see post-COVID? Is this something that, has it changed your business at all?
It had changed our business because we were a family sit-down restaurant and we had to adapt to a takeout type of thing. And so that's been good. But I think that I told my sister, I hope to do about 10,000 meals a month, feeding the hungry, because I think we are able to do it. And I think that's necessary. And we look forward to that. And the word is getting out to the community, and they call us and they ask us. We have some individuals say, we have a group over here, they need about 100 meals. Can you guys prepare that? And we say, sure. So that's what we love. So that's what I see. I see this portion of the mission of the bakery growing pretty quickly. So
that's wonderful. So you plan on continuing that even after COVID?
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, when we first started, that's what we wanted to do. And so this is a blessing that it just came about the way it did. So it's just, doors are beginning to open, and especially with you guys, we appreciate the opportunity to partner with you, that you guys would even consider us. And so, and we won't let you down. So I think you'll like the meals that we fix and prepare. And by the way, I can't cook a lick. So
oh, you're kidding?
No, I can't. My sister, she's she's the brain and the cooker, and we have chefs. So yeah, I just talk all the time. So
well, that's a needed part of the business also. So are you open for do you have outside dining, or are you just doing takeout right now?
So we have inside dining. Right now, because of COVID, we're just open on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then beginning in April, we have this fantastic brunch, which people like. It's a buffet, it's about 20 dishes. And they've been waiting for it to come back. So that's what we're doing right now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're hoping to go into the outside, have some outdoor dining and so forth. We still have to do the social distancing and so forth. So we're very cognizant of that. So.
Right. And can you tell the people on the call where you're located?
We're located at 1001 Dickerson Pike, Nashville, Tennessee, 37207. That zip code is important because if you don't have that, you'll be in Goodlettsville, because there's another 1000 Dickerson Pike. And yeah, and we say we're located in a split, and you really can't miss us. We're in the split between Dickerson Pike and White Street Pike. It's a green building, you can't miss it. So we hope you come join us. And we have live music on Saturdays and Sundays from 9 to 2. Mm-hmm.
How many employees do you have? You said you don't cook, so you're having some other people help.
Yeah,
how many
so actually we have maybe 4, and it's the 4 that cooks all the meal, and so we get in there, and I can get in there and do some things, but I just don't prepare. So.
And were you able to keep everyone through COVID, or did you have to let people go?
We were able to keep everyone.
Fabulous. Michal, could you show the pictures from yesterday? I just want people to see the meal drop off. I think you're in one of these pictures, Kathy, and then also show people what the meals looked like.
Okay.
So this is the meal, the rotisserie chicken, green beans, and sweet potatoes. And then there's a picture of the drop off. Michal, do you have that one?
Oh, I have it in a second. I didn't get the second email.
Oh, sorry.
I'll do it. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so give me a second. You can continue in the meantime, and I'll just.
Sure.
Where's mine?
Waiting for you.
I have to say, it really smelled delicious. They were still warm when they dropped them off yesterday. They were still warm, and the aroma was amazing as we were setting them aside and getting ready to distribute them to the families. They were still like fresh out of the oven.
Yes.
And we were really lucky with the weather. It was wonderful, sunny. And here's the group photo from the drop off. So this Kathy and Deborah and Barbara, the volunteer, and then Whitney and Mr. Churchwell as well. So that was all of us yesterday. Thanks, Michal. And if anybody's interested in volunteering with us, we're going to be doing this again next Thursday. We're going to be delivering, I think, 200 or 300 meals to J.R. Baxter Middle School at lunchtime. And then on March 25th, we're doing both schools in the same day. Kathy, I hope you guys are ready. I think we've got 500 meals in one day. We're doing lunch at J.R. Baxter and then afternoon pickup at Churchwell again. So we would love to have volunteers. If anybody wants to join in, you can find the volunteer portal at the Jewish Federation's website, so jewishnashville.org. And next week, the distribution is at 11:15. Deborah just put that in the text box. I'm going to see now if anybody in the audience has questions for you. If you do, I think we're a small enough group. You can just unmute yourselves and speak.
Hi, Kathy. I'm Eric Stillman. I'm the CEO of the Federation. It's nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
So if I missed this at the beginning, forgive me. I'm just curious, how long has your restaurant been open, and have you always been at the same location?
We have been open we're going on our 5th year, and we have always been at the same location.
Great. I look forward to going out there.
Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Maybe.
Maybe when it warms up a little more.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I may have missed. So where is the physical space?
Where is it?
Yeah.
At 1000 Dickerson Pike. That's the restaurant. So Nashville, Tennessee. Are you familiar with East Nashville?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you know where Cleveland Street is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there was a Piggly Wiggly going away from downtown. Right. Yeah. Right. And so it's a little split right there. Used to be an old burger boy. We're in that building.
Do you have any cows? Those big cows near your place?
Cows?
Yeah, the big cow sculptures that are on the bottom of Dickerson Road.
No, you talking about those bulls?
Yeah, the bulls.
Yeah. No, we're about a mile block away, going north from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know where it is. So
I know where.
Looking forward to seeing you. Okay, great.
That'd be great.
Yes.
Is there any particular type of food that you specialize in, or are you kind of all over the place?
So that's how I feel, all over the place. So we're a brunch restaurant. And okay. So one of my favorite meals and my sister's favorite is breakfast. And so we're famous for it. I'm just saying that word, chicken and waffles. And things like that, fish and waffles, fish and grits, mimosas, things like that. My sister bakes these beautiful cakes, strawberry, any kind of cake that you would like. And the reason why we started the bakery, because she's has a history in her background is banking. And so, but she would also bake at that time when she was in banking. She'd bake this beautiful rum cake and everybody would ask her for it. So we have a line that's called Sipper Cake, which is alcohol infused. And so we have the rum cake, Moscato cake, key lime cake, all those different kinds of cakes. So, but wow. We're just looking for a brunch. We're a brunch spot, really.
Sounds great. Wow.
Good.
You said you had music on the weekends and during the brunch. What kinds of music do you usually have? We have jazz, and then we might have a little bit, it's eclectic. So, but mostly it's jazz. We have a guitarist right there there every weekend. And I wanted to back up and say that our waffles are different because it's made out of my sister's cake batter. Oh, wow.
So Ms. Leslie, could you explain to me where chicken and waffles came from?
You know what? You know what's funny? I was looking that up the other day. They said it's a kind of a Southern thing, but I just truthfully, I felt that there was a trend coming about with chicken and waffles, and so I just decided that we would do that, and it became a hit immediately, especially with the waffles made out of her cake batter. So you have the savoriness of the chicken, the crunchiness, and then you have the sweetness of the waffle, and then we have a Henny syrup, which is also alcohol infused. Okay. It goes on top, so it's pretty delicious.
Yeah, it always just sort of struck me as a little I just couldn't make the cultural connection there.
Have you ever had it?
I couldn't make the connection between chicken and waffles.
Have you ever had any?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you
Haven't
tried
had yours.
Yeah, it's just pretty popular. Fish and grits. And you know, another thing that's popular too, and we just decided to put it together, is fish and waffles. So who would have thought that? But that's just as popular.
And Kathy, I'm curious, what kind of fish do you use when you do the fish and waffles?
So we use whiting, and we use some people say different, but we call it swai, SWAI. So we don't use catfish. So, but a lot of people think it's catfish, but it's not. It's a white, really mild fish, and the whiting and the waffles.
Did your sister learn to cook from your mother?
She did. She learned she would sit at my mother's feet and learn to cook, and I was out doing something else. The one thing about Sandra is she is a double threat because she knows how to bake and cook. Some people know how to bake and some people know how to cook, but she knows how to do both. And so while she was doing that, I went off to law school. So I'm a lawyer by trade. And so she's a banker and she owned her own mortgage. Yeah, so we just thought we would, because it's something about food. And I just want to emphasize that it's just something about food that makes you feel warm and loved. And so that's what we just decided to do.
So I'm a lawyer by training too, and you were smarter. You got out or moved sideways. And I know I ran into you someplace. I was just trying to figure where that was.
Right. I still practice law full time. And so along with the rest of them.
Where do you practice?
I have my own firm called Sister-in-Law Legal Firm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you always been sort of, on your own?
Well, so when I first got out of law school, I clerked for Chief Justice Dropoff of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And then I left there and I was Assistant Attorney General.
Okay.
And then I was a judicial commissioner for about 5 years.
Okay.
And then I just went out on my own. Okay. But you do look familiar too. I was looking at you.
I knew your name was familiar. I just couldn't, I was trying, I know that person.
Yep.
Erwin is being modest. He's a really talented baker. Yeah, he probably could work for you on the weekends.
Right.
Actually, listen, we need a baker.
Actually, Renee,
I'm
who
serious.
just said that Erwin's a good baker, actually really, really is a good baker.
When I say I'm really, really serious, we really, really need a baker. I mean, because Sandra's not able to work right now. I'm sorry?
Where do you like to eat out when you go out? We have so many new.
I don't have I'm a really plain type of person. I like pinto beans and things like that. So I eat everywhere. I don't have a special place, but I like to patronize other restaurants and give them businesses and so on. But I can't think of a favorite place. But there are a lot of places here in Nashville to eat, I tell you. I'm a native Nashvilleian.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
That's a rarity these days.
It is a rare unicorn.
How do you secure the musicians when they're performing with COVID? So
we do something. It's something real. We have a complex. It's real complex. They say, "Hey, can I come play?" I said, "Yeah." I was like, "Let me hear you play." That's real simple. We don't. People just know about us, and they'll come and they'll email us and ask us, can they come play? And so we're always looking for musicians, and we always like to give people a chance and so forth like that. And really, people love the music because they come in there and they say, you have music at 9 o'clock in the morning. And so that's what we do. We have music at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's not your regular country music. And although I love country music, but it's they call it a hidden gem. I don't know why we're hidden. We want to become out there. But, but that's what they say. It's a little off the path. So.
Were you impacted by the tornado a year ago?
Oh, a couple ways. I live in Germantown, and so the tornado. This is the miracle of it. The tornado hit everywhere. I'm gonna tell you a story real quickly. So I was looking at TV, and the Channel 5 said, "Take cover, take cover," just like that. And I called my sister, I said, Sandra, take cover. And all I heard was a boom. And so when and it was just that quick, all the places around me had been hit except where I live. And, but the lights were out, the power was out for many days. And I called my sister. I said, Sandra, did you take cover? She said, yes, I got under the bed, in the bed and got under the cover. I said, that's not taking cover, but I always laugh about that. She said, yeah, I got under the bed. But yeah, I was impacted. So and the restaurant is about a mile away from where I live. And so we had the tornado, and then because Jefferson Street, the bridge, you couldn't get over the bridge. And then COVID came. So it's been pretty interesting. And then this past Christmas, just 3 blocks down from 2nd Avenue, the bomb went off. So
Had a rough year.
they all made it though.
Right. Did you have to close down after the tornado, or were you able to stay open the whole time?
We stayed open the whole time. We have not we have not closed down at all. We just had to make some adjustments and cut down the hours and the time and so forth. But we have been rolling. And then World Kitchen came along, and that was awesome right there. Is that Field of Boy? So.
Right. So you said you do other work trying to provide food for those in need. What else besides World Central Kitchen are you involved with?
Well, every year, even before World Central came, we did the big community meal in July. And then now other people from the community, just like we had this one individual call us the other week and wanted us to fix 60 meals for the students at Ida B. Wells. And we did that. Then they called and said they wanted to do it again. They wanted to do 100 for Ida B. Wells. And then I just got another email. I haven't looked at it. So, you know what? I just think people want to do some good work. And it's our pleasure to be a part of that and to do it well. And not just because I always tell our team that, because they are being fed for free, that means we have to make it doubly better. If that's a word, I made it up. But I mean, we have to do much better. It has to be pretty, it has to be delicious and so forth, because I think that's what we have to do. So.
That's wonderful. So who does the designing? You said it has to be pretty, and the meals, they looked fabulous yesterday in addition to smelling fabulous. So who does the kind of layout and design of what it should look like on the plate?
My sister really has the eye for that. But she hasn't been there for a couple of weeks. But what we do is we go around and look at it and we decide if we would eat it. And so if it doesn't look right, we'll say, no, just take this back, put more on that. That's not enough. I don't know why this is like that. So that's just how we decide. If it's not good for us, then it's not good for anybody else. So we want to make sure that, and we're learning to do that. We have a chef, we have 2 chefs, and one he's really more of the aesthetic, with a presentation. So it's a process for us. And so we just go by gut. I know what I want to sit down and eat, and I know what I want it to look like. And we have to pass it by my sister before we send it out. Even when we did those meals, we had to, we have to send it to her and get her approval.
That's great. Are most of your customers regulars, or do you have a lot of tourists coming in? So what's your clientele like?
I was telling my sister the other day, we have a lot of tourists. We have a lot of people come from out of town. I mean, it just is, I don't know why. We want to get more local people, but most of them, I ask them how they found out about us, they Google, Yelp, or whatever like that. So, but it's a lot of out of town. We live in an area where there's a lot of Airbnbs. And so we get a lot of bachelorettes where, they're having a party, bachelors in big groups and things like that.
So what's the kind of craziest experience you've had with a customer?
That could be many. Well, I just want to be honest with you. One of the craziest experiences that sometimes that people will come in and they'll ask us, is this really a Black-owned restaurant? And I'm thinking, yes, it is. And they say, well, it's very nice. I'm like, oh, okay. So that, I think that's probably the craziest. And then some people will say, you know, can you cut my food up? You know, can you cut my chicken up? Can you cut my steak up and stuff like that? But other than that, it's pretty neat though.
Right. That's great. Other questions from others on the call? I feel like I'm dominating with all the questions. Go ahead,
Avi.
Ali.
Kathy, could you talk a little bit about what you're seeing in the area you're located? There was an article in the paper yesterday about how developers are now looking at Trinity Lane as the next gentrified neighborhood. And what's beautiful about your business is it's showing that there can be thriving businesses north of town. And so what are you seeing in the area? How do you see, what are the struggles you're seeing in the community? I'm concerned about the area becoming gentrified.
Well, you know, let me back up a little bit. So also, I'm a real estate developer. So if you go over on Fifth Avenue in Germantown and Salem Town, you start seeing those new houses. Our company started building those. So I am from Nashville. So we like to go in blighted neighborhoods and know that and start bringing them up to par. And then we know that other people would come. So for example, when we went to Salem Town, people said, don't go there. It's gang infested, all this other stuff. And so we built our first house for, I'm just digressing a little bit, but I just want to give you a story. So I bought the first property for $2,500 across the street in 30 days. That same property sold for $60,000. That was vacant land. So that's how that started. So we're from Nashville, we're from East Nashville. And so we look for areas that we can build up. So we made a commitment to go over on Dickerson Road. We said, you know what? You can see the skyline from here, right? And this is an area because you know, and still every now and then a prostitute will walk down the street. It was a very bad neighborhood. And so we sat there for, you know, we've been there 5 years, right? And so because we were the only one there, people still say, we didn't know you existed. So now you see on Dickerson Road, you see there have been a lot of investors seeing what is there now. They're coming over to buy property over there. So probably in 2 to 3 years, it will not look like it looks now. I mean, because they're already over there, they've already turned it over, and it's a good thing because some of their property over there, you know, was very poorly kept and so forth, and they went over there and bought it. I bought some too, we bought some too, and so it's just going to be different. And as far as gentrification, I don't think it affects that area, but unbeknownst to a lot of people, there are a lot of Black businesses in that little area that we're in. I mean, there's about 6 of us over there. I don't know how that happened, but we were the first ones to go over there and start it out. So I think that over in my neighborhood where I grew up, I mean, gentrification is really over there. And so, but the one thing about that in that area over there, a lot of those families, they were generational. So it may have been time to sell. You know, the children may have wanted to move somewhere else and so forth. So sometimes it can be good, and I don't necessarily see it as bad at this point yet. Because now houses over there are selling for about $700,000, which is funny.
Right.
But they're building right across the street from us. I understand the developer bought their property. They're going to put senior houses, senior living houses over there. So.
You mentioned that you're a real estate developer. So when you do development, is it mainly commercial or residential?
I do both. One of the things that we wanted to see in Nashville is that we wanted to make sure that we had a legacy here. That, you know, Nashville, I don't even know Nashville anymore. I mean, I drive down the street, I'm confused because it doesn't, I mean, I'm serious. I mean, it just looks like, so we're building a little boutique hotel about 3 doors down from the restaurant. And so we just look to contributing something and being a legacy, to making a difference in the neighborhood and the community, because we're obligated not just to sit there and take in money, but to give money back out, give back out to the community. That's an obligation, and it's a beautiful obligation.
Amen.
Yeah.
Do you, is your mother still alive?
No, my mother died in 1992.
Sorry to hear that. So she didn't get to see your restaurant.
No, but we do this in her honor. We have a dish named after her called the Catherine, and then the hotel will be named after her too. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. What is the Catherine?
What is it?
Yes, the dish.
Oh, the Catherine. It's a meat, sausage or turkey sausage or bacon, breakfast potatoes, eggs, and I think that's it, and toast.
All right.
So Kathy, did you explain how you connected with the World Kitchen?
I did, but I don't mind saying it again. It's just like everything just keeps coming into, Whitney came to us and she said to us, I think she heard about us and she said, I want to partner with you guys and for you guys to provide meals for the community. Would you be interested? I'm saying, oh my gosh, that's what we really wanted to do. And we started that and it's been growing and growing and growing. And we just really are excited about it. I was telling them, I hope that we could do 10,000 meals a month. I mean, because we just really love doing it. I mean, we really do. So, and you see people smile when they get food, the little children. Yeah.
Well, that's a great organization. They just do.
It is. It really is. I like it. Yeah.
So did you also go to law school in Nashville or did you leave for a little while for that?
I did. I went to University of Akron in Ohio.
All right. So spent some time away.
I did. Just about 3 years. I ran back down here because it's cold. Yeah.
Indeed. What are your kind of next step goals for the restaurant and for the other businesses that you have?
So for the restaurant, and I want to say this, and I'm not being facetious, but it's almost every other customer that comes in the restaurant. We get a lot of people from out of town. Can you bring one of these here to my place? Can you bring it here? I'm like, you don't have one. We don't have anything like that here. I'm like, I can't believe that. I mean, I said so, but I mean, we get that often. So to answer the question is to expand, to maybe open up a couple here in Nashville, and then maybe go other places. We got a slow growth. I mean, I know we look at some people that started with us, they have about 20 restaurants now. I mean, we're still with the one, so. Where
would you expand first in Nashville?
I would like to go downtown or because, the funny thing about it, people that come in town, they don't venture out very rarely do they venture out into the neighborhoods or anything like that. So either downtown or maybe at the airport or maybe in Germantown, maybe. So
I saw in the news that Slim and Huskies just became the first Black-owned business on Broadway. Which is
well, you know what? I thought about that. I don't know if they're the first Black-owned, but because we got a lot of history. But I think that they started 6 months before we did, and they have grown astronomically. We're so proud of them. They're great guys, all three of them. So they're doing a great job. I hope to follow in their footsteps.
It sounds like you work a lot with other locally owned restaurants. Is that the case?
We do. What we try to do is one of the things that for us, you cannot be successful unless you bring somebody with you. So what we try to do is to partner with other businesses and have them have their food there, tea there. We're trying to partner with this local Black-owned. She owns an ice cream shop, and so we want to put her ice cream in the bakery. And when you help everybody, and then you'll be helped. So yeah, we do. We like to support like that.
And is it kind of informal, or do you have a formal association with locally owned restaurants?
It's informal. When I see a business open, especially Black, I'll go there. I'll say, "Hey, I enjoyed your food. Maybe we can use some of this over Suggah Hi. That might be a good match. I like your ice cream. It would go well with waffles." We don't make ice cream, so, and that'll give you an opportunity. And then there's another young lady that her name is Barbara Tom. She has Sweet Creation Pies over on Jefferson Street. So we don't normally do pies. So when they ask us about pies, we send them to that restaurant.
And those are good pies.
That we would, you know, Barbara is a lawyer too. Did you know that?
Is that right?
Yeah.
A lot of smart people here.
Yeah, but we went to church together. Yeah, great pies. So when we support each other, that's what it's all about.
Awesome. What's your favorite meal?
My favorite meal would be, I like breakfast. So my breakfast favorite meal would just be eggs, bacon, and biscuits. That's my favorite meal. For dinner, I love pinto beans, you know, hot water cornbread, maybe some kind of meat or something like that. But I'm just real simple. I'm really a breakfast person. One of the biggest things when we were growing up, my mother would serve us breakfast for dinner. And that would be a treat. So I'll eat breakfast anytime. So.
Do you serve biscuits?
We do. We have this biscuit called Dabomb, D-A-B-O-M-B. It's a biscuit stuffed with eggs, oh my gosh, turkey sausage, bacon, peppers, and spinach. And then we put honey butter over the top. That's a very popular meal.
I like that the spinach is there, you know, just a little piece of healthy on top of that.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Somebody just messaged me, do you make challah?
No. We can though. I mean, if you ask us to, we can do anything, but we don't make it though.
We have a lot of people on this call who probably could send you a good recipe for challah.
Please do. Please do. We like to try new things. We would love it. So.
And
Well,
challah makes
along
really
those
good
lines,
French toast. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
I'm just curious, Kathy, are there any particularly gluten-free items that you have on your menu?
Thank you.
No.
You can't do that.
I tell everybody, I know it's kind of bad. I mean, so we don't have any, we're really Suggah Hi. I mean, we have sugar, nothing gluten-free really, but hopefully we were thinking about doing something like that in the future. Quite frankly, we don't get a lot. I'm sorry?
Gluten-free flours are getting a lot better. I think that as more people have issues with gluten, the quality of bread product that you can produce, or cookie, or pancake, whatever.
Right.
It's getting better, but don't do it just yet. I would wait another couple.
Well, you know what? It was so funny. This young lady came in and she said, "Do you make anything with?" She said she was a diabetic, and she said, "Do you make anything that's low calorie?" And I just said, "No, we're Suggah Hi." And so, I mean, we don't. I'm sorry. I mean, this is just not the place. You know that if you have an issue with that, and I understand that, but we just there's sugar there. So
Your turkey sausage is probably gluten-free.
okay. It is probably, yeah. Yeah, we have turkey sausage. But we don't have many people ask for gluten-free products, interestingly enough.
Other questions that anyone on the call has?
Yeah, one last question. Kathy, do you have a place inside where groups can meet and eat?
Yes. Go ahead.
Maybe we could steer some of our nonprofit meetings over to your place.
You know what? We would be so honored if you would do so. We're a small, intimate spot. We can hold, but because of COVID, we can hold probably about maybe 40, 45, just small groups. But we would be honored if you would send them that way.
Great.
So you said right now you're open only on the weekends. When do you plan to open back up full time, or do you?
Well, I think we'll stay this way until about June or July or something like that. Our anniversary is in July, and then after that we'll reevaluate, and then we'll do something probably differently. But you know, we were open all those days. And there's about 13,000, 20,000 people go up and down Dixon Pike every day, but they never would stop. Which is weird. And you know, they just keep going back and forth, but we never could get them to stop.
When is your annual community dinner that you mentioned?
It's in July. I think it's the second weekend in July. No, I'm sorry. The annual community meal is a harvest meal. It's the Thursday before Thanksgiving. So it's in November. And July is our anniversary. We used to do something at that time.
Are you planning a big celebration?
I hope to, yeah, I think so. I like to. It's time to celebrate, right? We've had some rough years.
By then, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, Kathy, I'm sort of surprised people don't notice it. I think your building is beautiful. It's a very pretty, the painting on the outside. So I'm sort of surprised people don't notice it on Dickerson, but maybe as things start to reopen and become, people are out and about more, that might change. Because I actually always think your building looks very pretty when I drive by it.
But thank you, I appreciate it. But you know, oddly enough, they say that. I never noticed it. I never knew you guys were here. And then somebody told me to come, and I'm like, oh, I see that. I said, so we must need to stand out in the road or something like that.
You need one of those boards.
At the street,
of
a
those-
board at the street itself, because the building itself has that pretty painting, but I guess maybe if people are driving too fast, they don't notice.
Yeah, I think that's it. So, but again, we get a lot of business from out of town, not from in town. So hopefully that'll change.
How do you?
And I was just, I'm sorry. I was just going to, before we start to wrap, I just was going to say again that in the very first conversation I had with Kathy when we were working with Whitney to develop our partnership for our particular project, I was so impressed by, and Kathy mentioned it earlier, but I just want to echo it again, her feeling of how important it is when you're providing meals for those that might not have easy access to food, how important it is for it to be beautiful and healthy and well done. And that was really why ultimately I felt like we would make a perfect partnership for this project, because you were really doing it. It wasn't just about getting food, it was all about the whole body and spirit. There was a really holistic approach that you were explaining about how you bring food to people. And I just thought that was really beautifully said. And it became, I understood it from our conversation, but I saw it in action yesterday. So I just want to thank you for everything that you're doing.
Again, we thank you from the bottom. It's really our pleasure. It really is. And we believe that you could have gone to any other restaurant, or Whitney has other restaurants, and when I say this, and I mean it, we're really honored that you would choose us to partner with you, and we'll make you proud. So,
like I said, if yesterday is any example, you already have. And the other reason was because you were specifically serving families in the public schools, which we also really appreciated. And we have also done work with the public schools. So it just seemed like a natural partnership. And like I said, if yesterday is any indication, we're off to a great ongoing projects.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We also wanted to have the project coordinate around Pesach, Passover, which is coming up soon for us at the end of this month. And we're having our annual Community Social Justice Seder, which is a model Seder, next week. And we hope everyone on the call will join us. One of the themes of Passover is let everyone who's hungry come and eat. And we open and welcome, and many of us in normal times make a point of bringing in people who don't have another place to go to our Seder table and welcoming them and feeding them. So it resonates well with the messages that you've had. And we're super proud and honored to be working with you on this project. Deborah just put the link to register for the Seder in the chat box. So if anyone's not registered, and some of you on this call are not, I've seen the registration list. So if you're not yet registered, please join us next Thursday night, March the 11th at 6:30. The Seder will be 6:30 to 8 o'clock. And our theme of the Seder this year is food insecurity. And we'll be highlighting Suggah Hi and Kathy and World Central Kitchen as part of that program.
May I say something?
Please.
I just want to end with this. One of the most segregated times in the day is at the dinner table. or at the lunch table. You know, people, we eat lunch and we go sit at a table here and other people go sit at a table there. But when you invite someone to sup with you, to sit down and eat with you and share a meal, that shows love. That shows that you're accepted. And so that's why we think, again, it's just so what your organization is doing is so important, more than what you think, because food is bringing people together and food is showing forth the love that you have for the community. So I applaud you in your work also.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Thank you.
And are there any last questions from the group before we wrap up for today?
I'm looking forward to challah and chicken.
Challah and chicken? Oh, send me a recipe. We'll try anything, you know. Challah and chicken. All right. I like it.
And challah makes really good French toast. Deborah just pointed
yeah.
that out as well.
So, but seriously, we're looking for bakers.
All right, we will put the word out.
Okay.
All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up then for today. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Shabbat Shalom, and
Shabbat shalom.
join us
Just
next
as
week.
a reminder, no call next Friday. Join us instead next Thursday evening for the Seder. We will not have a call next Friday.
We'll be
and-
tired.
Yeah, the call on the 19th will be with Carol Westlake, and we'll be talking about intellectual disabilities and specifically to the Purvis Payne bill that is before the state legislature.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kathy.
Kathy, thank you. Looking forward to
Appreciate
we'll see you
you
next
joining
week
us.
for the next distribution next week. I look forward to seeing you there.
Our pleasure. Hope to
Thank
see
you.
you
Enjoy
guys